Hey everybody, my name is Alex and welcome to my channel Garage to Home, where I am working on converting a mechanic's garage into a single family home. Today's a big day. The concrete truck should be here any minute, and we're gonna get ready to pour. I feel like a kid on Christmas. This is a big deal to me because after this is all cured and ready to work on, I'm really gonna start building up the space and it's gonna start feeling like a home. So I'm gonna try to film what I can, and let's get into some of the clips. So I know I don't have the best recording equipment, but I figured I would still try to do a voiceover. So this was the prep work before I got there, and of course the cement truck came in, and what I should say about this is they got right to work once that concrete was ready to pour. So in this clip, I wanted to make sure I didn't get their faces on camera or anything, but once that concrete starts coming out, it starts pouring very fast. And what I thought was really cool about their craft is they could simply look at the concrete and know if it needed more water, if they needed to slow down, or what they needed to do. So again, they delegated their work very well, and their biggest thing right in the beginning was kind of pushing everything into the corners to make sure that everything got a good seal. But it was really cool to watch. They started smoothing everything out. They were about to do it right there with that big beam. And then this was about halfway through of the first truck. So there was 2 trucks that we did use, and we had 16 yards in total of concrete. So of course this is obviously one of the most satisfying things about the pouring process is smoothing everything out. But I felt like I was just watching them, and so I asked, hey, you need any help? So they put me to work. They gave me some boots, and it's hard to film and try to move concrete here, but it was really cool, and I didn't want them to think that I was judging their work or anything. I was just watching them do their work because I was, really impressed with how well they know their job and how fast they move and everything. So this was, again, right at the end of the first load of concrete. And then I left to go pick them up lunch. And of course, I thought I was gone for 30 minutes, and this is what I come back to. So they were already done. They were getting ready to smooth. And to me, it was just so satisfying to remember what it once was and just watch this process go ahead. So we took a break for lunch, and when we came back, this is what it looked like. They were just about to start hand smoothing everything. So that's what those little boards are. That was for them to kneel on while they spread. What I found most interesting about this process is this hand spreading part. That took them about 2 hours. So once they were using that large tool, I thought they were almost done, but no, they made sure that they made that thing as smooth as can be, and so all those marks, those will come out once I wet it down and it cures correctly. And then finally, right before I left for the day, I closed the garage doors and just admired a little bit. So again, if you see this in person, this thing, honestly, smooth as a baby's bottom. It looks amazing, and I'm really happy with it. Look how good this looks. I am so excited. They came in the morning to finish a few things up. I know it's going to be a little bit boring for you, maybe just to check out what they did, but I am able to walk on it now. I do need to water it down every 8 hours for 4 days. And then after 2 days, it's ready to, it's fully good to go. But I'm still going to give it those 4 days before I start to bring anything inside. But with that being said, I can walk on it. So let's take a look around. So we can take a walk up to the bathroom. And to me, this is where you can really tell the difference here. And of course, there's no pit anymore, which is awesome. So again, I know that this is just concrete and probably not exciting to everyone watching this, but this is super exciting to me. This is a huge next step, and I'm thrilled with how everything turned out. So you're probably wondering what the next steps are. And the next step is to move this thing to the back of the property. And the reason why I need to do that first is because for the cutouts of the windows, this actually blocks those 2 windows over there. So to be able to properly cut them, because I am going to, what was already there, I'm pretty much just going to punch out and use those window bays there. So we're going to move this, and then that way also we can have a new entrance into the back. And then we are also going to close up the original door right now. So once that's in, I will start entering from the back. But because we can't do this right now, I'm not going to end the video here. We still need to work on this fence. So let's stop at Harbor Freight and I'll explain my reasoning why we're going there. So you may be wondering why I didn't just rent an auger rather than purchasing one. And the reason for that is I figure it might take me multiple times to finish this fence. I'm gonna knock out maybe half of it this time around, which maybe would take me 2 or 3 days. And then I would have to rent one again, and then it would take an additional 2 or 3 days. So I figured with insurance, everything like that, it would probably get really close to the price to just purchase one. And one of the things that I want to do with this channel is continue to work on things even after the garage is done. So I figured it could be something that's handy to have, as well as if family or friends need it, anything like that. So that was the reasoning for the purchase, but also, you know, you're always happy to have a shiny new tool. So let's get back to the garage and let's start digging some holes way easier using the auger. So I figured I would do one more voice recording to explain my process here as well. So what I just did there is I put in a stake to make a line with a rope there. And so why I'm doing that is so it could be a straight line for the fence. Then I measure out 97 3/4 inches. The reason why I do that is because you want the end of the fence to finish in the middle of each post. That way you can then put the next part of the fence on the same exact post. So really what I did is I spray painted that, and then you go off of that line. Hindsight being 2020, I definitely should have gotten like a red spray paint, because the green was a little bit hard to see, so I had to go back and just make sure that I sprayed each spot just so I can see it. And yeah, so I made sure that I stayed along that line there. And then once I was all sprayed up, I could take that line down and bring out the brand new auger. So the big thing with this is just to make sure that you take breaks between going down, at least for me. So you'll notice I halfway through, I'll stop and then I'll take all the dirt out. I've learned the hard way, but sometimes if you go all the way down, it's almost like it gets suctioned to the bottom and makes it really hard to take out. So I made sure to go along the end, or the whole way here, and yeah, we'll let a little bit of a montage go. I forgot to hit record, but here is all the posts in their spot. So I still need to keep a post hole digger and open those places up a little bit more before I put the concrete. But getting on to the other side of the yard here, I needed to clean some space out to make sure that I would be able to fit the rest of the posts and have a straight line. So after I finished that, it was the same exact process as before, where I set the stake with a straight line and just went down the line and made sure to spray 97 3/4. But as I was doing that, I did notice the tree, which we will see in a little bit. So when I was in the tree, I made sure not to go down super hard. One of the things that is dangerous with an auger is it can pretty much grab a root and shoot it, pretty much twist your arms around. And because I was aware of that, you'll see in a second that I knew that it was going to catch on something, but I had a very loose grip knowing that that could potentially happen. So once I got to a certain point, you'll see right there, again, I was aware that that would probably happen, so I gave up on that spot right there. I gave it one more little try to see if I could break up the root, and thought I'd go to the next one, but ended up being the same exact case there. So really what I need to do is I need to come back with a post hole digger and dig through those roots and everything. So I was surprised in this corner. I know it's not a great shot, but this one I was able to get completely through, which was great. So I actually remembered to film myself putting in these posts. So pretty much even though I put them in, I'm going to come back, I'm going to widen the holes, and then we're pretty much ready for concrete. All right, that's where we're going to wrap it up for today. I do need to stay here for another hour or two once that 8-hour mark hits, just so I can wet this place down again. I feel like we got a lot done. Definitely got the concrete done. That's a huge step in the process. And we got a lot of those posts in. I do need to come back with a post hole digger and one of those big bars to break up all those roots, but I'm pretty happy with the progress. If you've gotten this far and you haven't subscribed yet, definitely consider so you can stay in the loop. Now that this concrete is down, once it's dry, we're really going to start building this place up, and you're going to see a lot of changes very soon. So with that being said, I really appreciate you checking this out, and I'll see you in the next one.